Deathless Titans placed upon the face of the earth 3 generations of men, the first of them being men of gold. Becoming too close to gods themselves, Cronus ended their time on earth with an eternal sleep. A second generation came to be, the men of silver. Unwilling to serve the Titans and make sacrifices upon the holy altars, as all men shall do, they were condemned to dwell under the earth for all eternity. Finally, a third generation, the men of bronze, a brazen race, sprung from the ash tree, terrible and strong are they. Join me as I tell you the tales of the men of bronze. This is Dragon's Blood, Odyssey to Dionysodoros, Episode 13. In the morning after the campsite was cleaned up, everyone, including Oreithyia, made their way to the city. Before they got to the main gates, Gamden explained to Sunesret what could happen if they passed the old shopkeeper on the way to the docks. "I won't do anything if he recognizes her," promised Sunesret. "Okay, I'm trusting you not to draw attention to us," said Gamden. "We need to get to the docks on time." Oreithyia rode with Acum. She agreed to behave herself, so they cut her bindings. As they got closer to the city center, Oreithyia became visibly upset. Sunesret walked beside her and tried to console her, with no results. Suddenly, from around the corner, the old shopkeeper appeared, flanked by 4 large men. Everything seemed fine as they passed each other on the street. From behind them, the old shopkeeper shouted, "Bodeshinman says you have my property." At first they ignored him and continued on their way. "If you don't give me the girl, my men will take her back." Sunesret stopped dead in his tracks, and so did the group. "Don't do it," whispered Gamden. "I can't let her go back to that," he said, as he pointed to the old shopkeeper. "Oh, you don't want to give her back," said the disgusting old man. "Go get her, boys, and 10 gold pieces to the one who can cut the balls off the big one. Acum, give me your shield." "You can't use my shield if you intend to kill these men, Sunesret." "I won't kill them." Sunesret held up his hand. "On my honor." Acum relented and handed over his shield, dropping his weapon and Acum's shield into his hand. Sunesret charged into the fray. He smashed the first man in the face with the shield, and he dropped to the ground in a pool of blood. The second man fared no better, taking the shield square in the chest. It sent him flying through the air, and he smashed against a brick wall. "I didn't even break a sweat," laughed Sunesret. The other 2 men looked at each other, nodded, and attacked simultaneously. Sunesret parried a sword blow from the first man with his bracer, and blocked the other man's spear with the shield, sending him stumbling off to the side. Faster than either of the men could react, Sunesret was on the offensive again. Blocking another sword thrust with his shield, Sunesret kicked the opponent so hard he flew across the street into a cart full of fish. "This is a joke," laughed Sunesret. "I thought we were gonna fight." Sunesret walked towards the spearman, who tried to get away, but Sunesret was too fast. Throwing the shield, his aim was perfect, and it struck the spearman in the back of the head. Sunesret walked over and picked up the shield, then ran across the street to the cowering old shopkeeper. "Don't hurt me," he said. "Take the girl. Just don't hurt me." With one arm, Sunesret picked him up by his tunic, lifting him off the ground with ease. Looking the old shopkeeper in the eyes, Sunesret said, "We will take the girl with us, and if I hear that you have abused any of your other slaves, I will come back here and rip out your diseased heart. I have friends everywhere in the city, watching you. I'll do whatever you say. Just don't hurt me, squealed the old shopkeeper. Sunesret put him down and calmly said, You're a disgusting old man. Don't make me have to come back here. The old shopkeeper ran away as fast as he could, with his henchmen close behind. Everyone on the street that had stopped to watch the fight broke out in cheers and threw garbage at the old man. Sunesret laughed out loud and walked back to his traveling mates. When he reached Achem, he handed over the shield and said, That was fun. I need to get rid of my frustrations. Sorry about the blood. Sunesret pointed to the crimson stain on the shield. That was impressive, said Achem. Where did you learn to fight like that? I learned a little from my father, but mostly from living on the streets, answered Sunesret. We better get going before that old man licks his wounds and comes back after me. As they continued on their way to the docks, Oreithyia said, Everyone hate old man. You first to beat him up. People like you now. I like you now too. I hate slavers too, said Sunesret. He was lucky that you were here, Achem, or I would have left him hanging by the neck in front of his store. You sure have changed, Sunesret. When we first met, you would have killed them all, said Gamden. I'm glad you can control your anger now. When we first met, replied Sunesret, I was ready to fight anyone for any reason. Now I can hardly find a reason to fight. Wiser words have never been spoken, said Menkari. The group turned the corner, and not too far away were the docks. The fresh sea air was a nice change from the smell of the city. When they finally made it to their destination, it was not long until they found Ahinabad. Men were busy loading his ship with last-minute cargo. When the ship is loaded, said Ahinabad, we will get your horses below deck. I had my men set up a stable for the trip. Unfortunately, space is limited on the ship, and I have a full crew. You will be most comfortable with the horses. My men put down extra hay for you to sleep on. Ahinabad pulled a piece of straw from his turban. It's comfortable, I can assure you. I also see that you have an extra passenger. My name is Oreithyia, she said, with a shy smile. Good to meet you, Oreithyia. My name is Ahinabad, he said with a bow and a big smile. Wait, shouted Gamden. Where is Capri? Capri, he shouted again. With a loud meow, Capri stuck his head out of the saddlebag on Menkari's horse. Shortly after the last of the cargo was loaded, the horses were led to the stable and the ship was ready to sail. The mooring was released and 6 men with long, thick wooden poles pushed the ship safely away from the dock. The crew jumped into action, getting the ship ready to be put to sea. The sails caught the wind and the ship lurched forward. Their course was set for Dionysodoros and then Azurta. There was no going back now. The first day of the voyage saw them make good speed across the smooth waters. There wasn't too much to do. Ahinabad and his crew kept a clean vessel. Gamden couldn't complain about this crossing, even though he hated traveling over water. Oreithyia watched Ahinabad from afar and was coy when near him, but did her best to stay close. That night, one of the crewmen caught a large fish and roasted it over the brazier. With their bellies full, everyone slept contentedly. The next morning saw clear skies but no wind, and their progress stalled. Ahinabad had no love for this, He knew that, at this time of year, the winter season brought storms. Ships loaded to capacity sink fast and leave no survivors. The morning was almost done when the clouds rolled in from the west, and with them came the rain. Ahinabad ordered full sail in the growing wind to outrun the storm brewing behind them. The first of the waves started to rock the ship soon thereafter, and the captain ordered half sail. 4 men manned the rudder at all times, trying their best to keep the craft on course. Down below decks, Gamden and everyone else were being tossed about as each wave crashed into the ship. The horses were growing restless, neighing loudly as they smashed into the walls of their stable. Gamden complained, "I hate this shit. Every time I get on boat, there is a storm or something that is going to kill me." "I have crossed the Neferkari Sea many times," said Akim, "through storms worse than this, and I made it every time, and we will survive this storm too." Seconds later, the hatch burst open above them. Rain and cold wind poured in from the lower decks. 3 men came stumbling down the stairs, shouting, "The rudder broke loose! It struck Amitus in the chest. I think his ribs are broken. Help him!" The 2 men laid the third in the hay. Then one ran back up the stairs to close the hatch. Everyone was up and ready to help. Menkari said, "Akim, your brotherhood practice healing magic. Can you help him?" "I think I can," said Akim, as he moved to aid the man. "Take his jacket and undershirt off. Gently." Slowly the 2 men did as he said, and once his shirt was off, they could see a dark blue bruise stretched across his chest. The perfect outline of where the rudder hit him. Every breath a fight to live just a little longer. Akim raised his hands, palms up to the sky, and said, "Athena, hear me. Give me your strength to help this wounded man." He then touched his left middle finger and forefinger to his lips, then his forehead. He spoke the ancient word for heal, Aomai. Laying his hands on the wounded man's chest, a bright green glow came over his whole body as the healing magic of Athena discharged from him. The man relaxed and took several deep breaths, then slowly opened his eyes. "What happened?" he asked. Where am I?" Everyone waited for Akim to answer him, but when he took his hands off the man, he fell backwards into Sunesret's arms. "Amitus, my brother! You're alive! We thought the gods had taken you from us." "I'm alive, thanks be to Athena," said Amitus. "Tell me, brother, where's the priest that saved me? I must thank him." "Using that much magic at once," answered Menkari, "has drained all his strength. He must sleep now. Pray to Athena that he may recover quickly." "We will pray and make offerings unto her for many weeks to come." The 3 men bowed deeply, then rushed up the stairs and out onto the deck to battle the storm again. Gamden closed the hatch, then said as he kneeled down beside Akim, "I have never seen that kind of magic used before. Sure, I've seen simple healing spells used before, for small wounds, but that was something completely different." "Akim has devoted his entire life to Athena," responded Menkari. "He has learned to use the magic given to his brotherhood. It's a potent magic, and can exact a potent price." "How long will he have to rest?" asked Gamden. "Difficult to tell. Could be as short as a couple of hours, or maybe through the night." "Well, it's going to be a long night," said Sunesret. why don't you break off another chunk of that hashish, and we'll settle in for the long haul. Look for episode 14 of Dragon's Blood, Odyssey to Dionysodoros on YouTube.